My name is Matt, and I'm a total piece of shit. And this is an actual beginner's guide to Elite Dangerous. This game is absolutely amazing, but it is absolutely straight up ass to learn. And while there are other beginner guides on YouTube, I've yet to see one that actually believes that you know nothing when you boot it up. It just seems to me that other videos assume you know a lot more than you do, and I try my best to phrase things in ways that if you've never played the game, you will understand it.
The guides that are on there are led by people that all go, so all you gotta do is charge up your frame shift drive, and like if you what is a frame shift? If you don't know anything about the game, like how the fuck are you gonna know what that says?
And that's not to throw shade. The other creators out there are doing absolutely amazing work, and the tutorials they're making are extremely advanced, and they're killing it in that department. But quite simply, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of those creators also don't know what you don't know either. So my goal here is not to throw shade, but rather make it a lot easier to understand so that you guys can enjoy this masterpiece of a game.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm at the Butthole Rock. I'm at one of the buttholes.
I've also had the privilege of helping quite a few people from my Twitch community learn this game from the ground up, so I feel like I know what I'm talking about in the teaching department. The learning curve is actually fucking atrocious. When you first boot up the game, you're gonna be going, what the fuck is a frame shift drive? They always ask, have you frame shift drive? They never answer, what the fuck is a frame shift drive? So it's gonna take 3+ years to fucking get there? Okay, now I know what a frame shift drive is, but why can't I frame shift? Okay, there's a landing gear. What is a mass lock? Why am I overheating? Oh my fucking god, I'm on fire. Why won't my auto dock work? Oh, it's because I cooked my ship like a fucking piece of prime rib. How the fuck do you park this thing?
How does one manage this shit?
The Elite Dangerous experience.
It doesn't need to also rotate. I'm actually gonna fucking do it. Move, bitch! I'm gonna do something a little...
Learning to dock at Elite Dangerous be like... beautiful.
Oh, and after finally docking, you're fucking backwards. I actually only know one person that managed to pull that off. And since most tutorials assume you know a lot more than you do, the troubleshooting of why can't I get where I want to go becomes very frustrating to say the least. And even once you get the basics of the game, so much shit becomes super complicated. Like, what is the deal with engineers? They won't take your money even when you're a billionaire, but they'll work for fucking tea. What kind of British ass shit is that? So, I'm starting from the very fucking beginning. I assume you know nothing at all. So, Elite Dangerous is a video game. Bold statements only on this channel. So don't get impatient. You would be surprised how many people do not understand very basic stuff about this game. So if you know it, just wait a few minutes. I bet you I hit something you didn't. After around 500 hours, I'm still learning shit about the game. And I'm gonna try to tell you guys some of those things in this video so you don't do 70 jumps when you could have done 5. That's a true story. That happened to me 2 weeks ago.
Mr. Dr. Blumpkin. Paging Dr. Blumpkin.
Elite Dangerous is a space sim, an MMO set in the Milky Way galaxy with a scale of 1 to 1. The game is absolutely fucking huge. There is only one galaxy you can go to, but trust me, it's enough.
What galaxy am I going to? The Milky Way galaxy is the only galaxy in this game. We have galaxy at home. Yeah, exactly.
In 10 years, the community has only explored about like 0.07% of it. So the map is the Milky Way galaxy, and every single one of these stars is a system. You have a galaxy map, and then every system has a system map. To clarify, the systems are the star and their orbiting planet, satellites, and stations. The planets are almost always named the star's name with a 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on how far away from the star it is. And then their moons are the star's name, the number, and then a letter for which moon that you're talking about. So for example, if you have a star named Dinklefart, then the first planet would be Dinklefart 1, and its moon would be Dinklefart 1A. So the main thing that I think everyone should know when starting this game is that there are 3 modes of travel. Between stars, inside the system, and then inside a satellite. And for those that don't know, the word satellite just means an orbiting object, not just one of these fucking things. Most of the game takes place in this last mode. All of your combat, scanning, mining, etc. is all in that mode. Now, it gets wildly confusing if you don't grasp this. I am not a patient man, and errors perturb the fucking shit out of me. I am not kidding. 90% of this game is learning keybinds and moving them around. So I'm not going to go over the exact keybinds of things because you can, should, and will change them around. So things are going to be different. You might have already altered stuff. So on that mode of travel thing, would you prefer you not be 83 when you arrive somewhere? Great. The part of your ship responsible for that is called the frame shift drive, and it's basically your engine. And I have yet to see a video explaining this like you don't know what it is. That's why this chapter is called What the fuck is a frameshift drive? So it's essentially your engine. Every ship has one with 3 main modes. So allow me to teach the way I learned with an old 50s style video that has the vibe that this dude is definitely gonna molest the kid. Hey there, son. What you doing? Oh boy, it's McMalley from the McMalley Boys. You were in Vietnam. You're goddamn right I was, and I got 40 kids with traumatized farmers to prove it. So, what seems to be the problem, son? Well, sir, I'm trying to get from this station to that planet over there, but I'm going to be too old to date Leonardo DiCaprio before I get there. Oh, son, I remember those days. Why don't you sit on my lap while I tell you how I learned the 3 S's of frame shifting? Slither, slide, and hyperdrive. But, sir, that last one's not an S. And why do you have baby oil? Why don't you shut the fuck up, Timmy? Okay, I'm not doing this bit for the whole section. Remember those 3 modes of travel from earlier? Well, mode 1 is the slowest, which is why I called it the slither. It's where most of the game takes place, and it's also where you do your combat. So you can remember mode 1 by slithering into the bussy when you go into combat. This is the mode that you're going to use to travel inside of planets, stations, etc. You know you're in this mode when you see over here you're moving 0 to 450 meters a second, indicated on this meter right here. Mode 2 is the slide, or as the game calls it, the super cruise. To get to that mode, you use your frameshift drive, which you mapped here in the settings. Whoa, slow down there, bucko. You've got your landing gear down, you fucking idiot. Put that shit up and try it again. See, I set you up for failure. When you're too close to a station, a planet, or your mother, you're going to be what's called mass locked, also indicated in the bottom right. So, make like you're avoiding the house with a touchy old man and get the fuck away from it. Wow, this is getting really annoying, isn't it? Like that goddamn knock-knock joke about the orange and the banana. My grandma thought that shit was so fucking funny. Well, orange, you glad I didn't call 911? Who's laughing now? But yeah, just like your PE teacher's dick, your hard points are out. Put those away before someone Me Too's you. Oh, what's a hard point? It's your guns. Don't be like Louis C.K. and put it away. By the way, all of these errors appear in your info panel in the upper right. So it'll tell you, hey, you can't do this because you're mass locked or your landing gear's down. But if you don't know any of this stuff, then those messages mean jack shit. Okay, once you've stowed all of your shit, you're now in Super Cruise. You use this mode to get to different points within a single star system. Want to go from the planet's surface to the moon? Super Cruise. Want to go to the station that's 200,000 light seconds away? Super Cruise. But I bet you forgot to check if you could land there with your giant ass ship, and those 30 minutes are gone forever. Fuck you. Now, if you had to learn all of this shit on your own, you probably already uninstalled the game. And that leads us to Gear 3. The hyperdrive. The only use for this is to jump between stars. Can't do jack shit in this mode. Most of your menus won't even load. It's literally a loading screen. It's also known as jumping, which if you want to get from one end of the galaxy to the other, you have to do quite a lot of it. We'll get to more of that in a second. To recap this section of what the fuck is a frameshift drive, I wanted you to think of the frameshift drive in 3 modes or gears. 1 being the slowest, 2 being the super cruise, 3 being the fastest. Gear 1 was the slither, which you do all your interplanetary shit, your combat, your mining. Most of the game is played here. Gear 2 is the super cruise, going between planets in a single system. And then Gear 3 is a loading screen to go to the next system. Got it? Now you're a fucking pro at frame shifting. Congratulations. Let's ask a learning goal question. Who's the most likely to fuck you? A, your stepsister. B, your crush. Or C, your frameshift drive when you need it most. Congratulations, it was C. All right, now that you know how to use the frameshift drive, let's talk about some suggestions for that. This is a bunch of shit that took me like 500 hours to learn, and these are only gonna help you. They're not advanced tips at all. So, remember that mode 3 where you jump from one star to another? The hyperdrive? When you map from one star to another, you have a route with multiple jumps in between it, right? Well, there are route settings in the bottom left of your galaxy map that you can switch from most economical route to fastest route. And this can literally change a 30 jump run down to 5. Just make sure you have a fuel scoop. That is an attachment that you put on that will refuel you at certain stars that are marked by this icon here along your route. I never leave home without it. For real, on God. Cringe. All right. Okay, next little suggestion here is you map a button to be specifically for Super Cruise, and you can find that here in the keybinds. But you may be asking, why do that when your frameshift button does both that and hyperdrive? Well, sometimes you're going to be on the surface of a planet or a moon, and you're going to have the entire fucking thing between you and the star you're trying to jump to. But if you're in mode 1, and you're trying to jump straight to mode 3, which is doable most of the time, it's going to say that it's obstructed. Now, many will suggest just remapping to another star, jumping there and continuing on, but here at Furthest Level, I strive to be smarter than that. So a bind for specifically to Super Cruise will allow you to get the fuck off the surface of the planet, go around it, and then you can jump to the star you actually wanted to go to. There you go. Just saved you untold hours. All right, on to our next section, the HUD itself. The HUD is broken down into 5 main parts, each with their own quirky quirks, like that girl that thinks that it's super original to dye one half of her hair black and the other blonde. Yeah, we get it. You're depressed. The center of which is the map. This is you. The shit all over the map are all colored different things with all these long strings attached to them. Let's go over the colors. Red is enemy. Purple is enemy your buddy is dealing with, or as I call it, not my fucking problem at the moment. White or gray are objects, not including women, but it's not like Elite Dangerous players talk to those. Orange are ships that you haven't interacted with at all. Green are security ships. Blue are your friendships. And there's also icons for planets and shit. The map is based on you and your orientation. If something is even with you, you are on the same level as it. If it's got a long string, it's above or below. And if it's behind you, it's fucking behind you. I didn't think I'd have to spell that one out for you. Speaking of orienting to a target, this little dot here is the overall direction of a locked destination. If it's solid, then it's in front of you. If it's hollow, it's behind you. If you want it dead in front, put it in this little target here. Just make sure it's not hollow because you'll literally be going the opposite direction. You would be shocked how hard this is for people to grasp. On the right of your map is your ship, and they for some reason felt the need to include a holographic model of the ship you're currently driving. Like, imagine you're driving and on the right-hand side of your dashboard is just a hologram reminder of you're in a Ford Focus. Thanks, guys. But the blue shit around it is your shields, and the percentage of those is, you guessed it, your shield strength. Below that is your ship's health. Lower number, bad. And to the right of that is where you're delegating your power to. Center is engine, left is your systems, right is your weapons. Go faster with more power into engines, put your power into systems to not overheat and build your shields back faster, and you shoot harder and more efficiently with more power into the weapons. The skilled pilot can do this in the middle of a fight, but a lot of people wait until the end of the fight to start moving shit around. It's utterly bizarre. And then to the right of that is what we talked about earlier with the mass lock, landing gear, and cargo scoop indicators along with your fuel level. Your upper right is where you get all your nifty notifications that are mostly your frameshift drive errors. So, okay, now that we did all the main parts of the HUD here, let's talk about the 4 panels. There is a left, right, upper, and lower panel in every ship. The left panel contains your navigation, missions, and contacts. You also, if you did not map your galaxy and system maps to keys yet, you can access both of those here. The navigation is mostly based on the system that you're in. I highly recommend disabling fleet carriers because, my God, it's like Captain Crunch's oops, all fleet carriers in the fucking nav menu.
Okay, if you're seeing this here, I'm weaving this into what I was talking about earlier because I totally forgot to mention the filters. Okay, so here are the filters. I have no filters enabled right now, and you can see that this is just a lot of people's fleet carriers, and it just kind of bogs down the whole thing, makes finding shit very difficult. So you go up here to filters, and whatever it is you're looking for, right? Planets and moons, right? Or let's say it's stations. Using the filters and turning stuff on and off to find what you need is pretty essential. It's very difficult to find these. They are ordered in terms of distance. So if you know the thing is around 1,000 light seconds away, you can kind of use it like that. But I always prefer to, like, if I know I'm going to a station, just, you know, throw on stations, settlements, whatever. Drastically easier.
Now, if they all say unknown, lock to the nav beacon of the system that you're in. It acts as its own location, and once scanned, will download all the system's information. Use Super Cruise over to it, drop into Gear 1, target, and scan it. Now, the nav beacon is almost never on the marker that you traveled to. It's this gray dot here. It's going to be a little bit off of that. So you're looking for the gray icon here. You target it, and then once it's scanned, it will tell you that it downloaded all the system data. This is where you're going to want to make sure that you know your target front key, because simply being near it doesn't cut it. One of the best flight assists you can buy in the outfitting is the Super Cruise Assist. This is used to automatically pull you out of Super Cruise and drop into that mode 1 we discussed. Everybody knows how annoying it is trying to time the distance and speed to be in that blue. The reason I bring that up here is that this panel is also where you enable the Super Cruise Assist if you applied it to your ship. Remember, you can only use Super Cruise Assist while you're in Super Cruise. Next, the transaction menu is where you see active missions, community goals you signed up for, and bounties redeemed. Pretty straightforward. In a given mission, you can also select this little icon here to automatically jump you to that system, and then you can route to it. And last is the context panel, where you go to request permission to land, and here is where it will say denied or permitted. And now's a good time to discuss why. If they deny you, it is most likely because you are outside 7.5 kilometers, or you have a ship that is too big to land on the pads. If you want to see if you can land your ship at a station before you get there, you can select it in the nav menu and look for has appropriate landing pads, and it will say yes or no. The bottom menu is your player. It is also where you go to leave your ship in your planetary driving vehicle. I have personally never hired crew members aside from my own friends, but this is where you would see that information. Pretty simple. The upper tab is your social settings. Not all that relevant if you have no friend. Your right side panel is as important as your left. This is honestly way too long to dive into in full, but the main two are your fire groups and modules. This is also where you find your inventory for cargo and engineering materials. Fire groups are what you assign your weapons known as hardpoints to and other various defensive capabilities.
This section here I felt like was way too difficult to try to write out, and I know I'm gonna miss something. So I'm just gonna do this a little off the cuff here. So the fire group section here is broken up into fire group letter numbers, and your primary fire marked by 1 and a 2 for secondary fire. Whatever you have those mapped to, most people are on keyboard and mouse and use their clicky fucking things. But yeah, so basically there you go with how that works. If you want to add another fire group, just simply select in the next category. And I'm pretty sure this goes on forever. Like I'm pretty sure you just oh, nope, looks like H is the most. We learn something new every day. If you have H, if you have all the way to H, I feel like you're not optimizing. I've never gone beyond E. Anyway, so to be clear here, right? So we got our, let's say we wanted to put our pulse lasers on fire group A, and then we just wanted beam laser to be primary fire, which is the same button. It'll be the exact same button, but you have to switch fire groups to get to it. So, you know, let's get out our guns. You know, if it's blue, oh, this is something I didn't mention earlier. If it's blue, then you're in analysis mode. My default is just press M to switch over to combat mode, and there you go. You can see that your hard points are out because you'll see the, you know, guns on the right-hand side of the screen there. It'll say retracting, put them away, and now they are, you know, put away. All right, so while they're out, let's, I think I'm away from the, yeah. So there you go. Primary fire fires both guns at the exact same time. Now, if I, for example, was in fire group A and I only wanted one of them to go off at once, you would just take that one off. You could put the other one in number 2, and then there you go. They are going off at, you know, whenever you press the buttons you've delegated to those. Get away from the system before I get myself a fucking fine for shooting at it. Okay, let's see. Well, yeah, so basically, you know, there's only primary, secondary fire, and then you put the fire groups together based off what you've got. You know, so say you wanted primary to just be a discovery scanner, have to go to analysis mode for that, and there you go. Charge it up using the exact same button you were just shooting with a second ago. All right. Fire groups are a little confusing at first, and you can pair shit. Like a common pairing is shield cell banks with the heat sink. But again, you can map the heat sink to whatever the hell you want in the settings, which I'll show you here. So if you go down to cooling, you can simply, you know, pair deploy heat sink, and it doesn't have to be in a fire group at all. This section was way too difficult to script, so I am just gonna hope that I did a decent job with this little live section here. All right, well, I think that just about covers all the main basics of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if I missed anything, feel free to let me know if there's something that there's a gap in the knowledge there. But anyway, I'm live every single day on Twitch. Come follow me there, drop a sub if this was helpful, and yeah, bye.